Joining us now, Mike Dickinson. Mike running for City Council, 1st District, Richmond. He's got a shot to win this thing. I'm telling you what, man, he's got a hell of a shot. And he's with us now. And go vote. If you live in the 1st District in Richmond, vote for Mike Tuesday game day. But, Mike, you had another caravan. You had another 350 people starting in Gum Springs, of all places. Tell us about it.
It was another great Trump train. We had a ton of people. It was another day of enthusiasm and great support for the president, excitement, patriotic. Everything was great. Great reception in Henrico and as we got into the city. But when we got down to the Lee Monument, we had a lot of problems. It's crazy. It's crazy what the city of Richmond has become under Mayor Stoney. The whole area down there is just a lawless war zone.
Mm-hmm. So when you say a lawless war zone, when you guys got down there, what happened, Mike?
Wow. Well, as we approached the area, right as we began to turn into the circle, I had my good friend Nick Ignacio from the Fredericksburg Patriots on my left with a shield, and I'm glad he was there because there was a liquor bottle, that gigantic liquor that was about thrown 1 foot over my head. And then these were not little Antifa college kids. These were they were like hardened criminal types, and they all had BLM paraphernalia. They waded out into the road to try to stop traffic, and as they did that, they went around to cars and they were beating on windows. They punched one lady's window out. They were beating on cars. They were snapping people's flagpoles off of their cars, taking people's flags, cursing. It was terrible. It was terrible. It took and we called the police when they started sitting down in traffic. I guess because the city they can't see anything that they don't agree with. They have to come out there and sit in traffic and have a temper tantrum. But it was just mind blowing that this is going on in a city that that Monument Avenue is a no-go zone now, and you look around and you feel so bad for the people who live there because they've had to tolerate this for 4 or 5 months now, and the mayor just lets it go. The mayor, I mean, they could shut that. They could deal with all those people and all those criminals in one swoop. Send in the police, clear the place out, put a fence up. If you don't live there, don't go home, and be done with it. But the mayor has allowed it to persist. The vandalism of the Lee Monument has not been cleaned up since it started. And that's just giving all these criminals an empowerment trip where they think they can do anything they want to. Our police need to go in there and clean that place out, tear the signs down, tear the basketball hoops down, throw all the stuff in the dumpster, and retake it, clean it up, and not tolerate all of this. But it was scary. I mean, we had a wide range of people in the caravan yesterday. We had families, we had people with kids, we had senior citizens, and it's terrible that they had to see that and had to deal with that.
We're living in a lawless society, Mike Dickinson, and I really appreciate what you guys have done, and getting to Monument Avenue, having to take your life in your hands, almost getting hit the head by a bottle, but still through all that, you had a huge turnout yesterday in the rain, right?
Yes, it was huge. In the morning, it was like a monsoon. I didn't know if it was going to work or not because it was pouring down. It was pouring down sheets of water between 11 and 12. But as soon as the rain stopped, the sun came out, and all of a sudden we went from 4 or 5 cars in the parking lot to within 10 minutes, 100, and then they just started piling in there. And I think I texted you at one point we had 200, and then I turned around and next thing I know, there were 350 cars, and more people were just coming in. So the enthusiasm for President Trump is off the charts. He's going to win big tomorrow. He's going to win big.
And you got to remember, this is an area which is not known as Trump country, right? You're in Richmond, right. You're in Monument Avenue, right. You're in East Henrico, not West Henrico. You're in East Henrico. Not exactly Trump country. Probably an area that Spanberger carried with 65% last time in her district, that particular area. But you got a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of people coming out. I mean, Mike, I tell you what, I saw the caravans yesterday that you guys had when you texted me that. 300 people there in the rain, 350 people there in the rain. They had a caravan on the New Jersey Turnpike, shut it down. They shut the whole thing down. They had so many people had shut down. They had one in New York by the Tapansi Bridge. And it's not like they were out there like Antifa does and they just stand in the middle of the road. It's just there were so many cars that you couldn't get off the exits. There were so many cars. So it's not like they had a rally and did what Antifa does. It was just like so many people there, right?
Yes, I mean, it was just so many people. And I mean, at one point we were going double wide down Patterson Avenue. And I mean, it's nothing but Trump flags and cars as far as you could see. And as we were going, just the reception from people was so positive. There's so many people out there that gave us the thumbs up, or they would give us the nod, and they supported us, and they supported the president. And so there's so much enthusiasm. But a lot of it is, a lot of people don't feel like they can express their enthusiasm because if they do, they're going to be targeted for harassment or targeted for name calling from the left, and they just don't want to deal with that. So they'll make their voice heard tomorrow. They may be quiet the whole time, but they'll make their voice heard tomorrow. But it was a great day, and all the patriots who came out yesterday and the week before also, it was great to see everybody out there willing to stand up and say that we're sick of this intimidation, we're sick of the harassment, we're gonna support our president, support our country. And you may not hear from everybody, but you're going to hear from us on these days when we do the Trump trains, and you're going to hear from us on Election Day.
All right, tell me about your game day. What kind of an opportunity do you have to win the city council seat, Mike?
I feel very strongly I have a good chance. People in my district, they're sick of the criminal behavior. They're sick of the lawlessness. They're sick of a city council that will not say they support the police. My opponents, neither of them, have said they support the police in 6 months. They won't say it. We're in forums and debates, and they won't say they support the police. They won't say it. They won't. They won't stand up to these criminals that are ruining the city of Richmond. They won't stand up to these people that are ruining Monument Avenue, our most well-known asset to the city. And so I feel like I've made a very good statement that I'm not afraid of any group. I'm not afraid to stand up for the police. I'm not afraid to stand up for what's right. I think people know that. I think that if people in Richmond, in my district, are truly sick of the criminal behavior, they're going to vote for me because they want to have a safe neighborhood. They want to have a safe city. They don't want to live in fear of the criminal mob coming to their neighborhood and ruining their neighborhood. They want to know that they're going to be able to defend themselves and not have to deal with any of these restrictions, the Second Amendment that our mayor has put into place. They want to know that we have leadership in city council that's not afraid to talk about the actual problem, the criminals, and not try to dance around the issue. So I feel strongly that I've made my case that I'm the law and order candidate, that I'm the pro-police candidate, and that the people who support that are going to vote for me. And I have a feeling it's going to be many more people than just the ones I know about or the ones I think. I think there's a lot of people in the city who are sick of this lawlessness, and they're sick of being afraid to go on their porch. They're sick of our streets becoming unsafe. So I feel good about it. So we'll be out there this afternoon campaigning. We're going to be out there tomorrow campaigning. It's not done yet. We got 2 more days of this.
Mike Dickinson, you've done the best job I've ever seen anybody do trying to run for council in that district, and for your support of the president and organizing these rallies and getting rid of that Muriel. Great job. You've made a real contribution. I feel like you got an upset making. I think you're going to win tomorrow.
I do too. Thanks, and it's just important to me that we get out there. And the reason I wanted to really step in the last few weeks and help President Trump, it's just our nation has been under attack. And like I said, there's so many people that want to speak out and say something, but they don't want to become a target of the mob. They can't do it. They can't put a sign up. They can't say something. So but they are willing to come and drive in a train or drive in a caravan. So I felt like it was something I could do, and I wanted to do to show support for our president. And we're at it used to be where Republicans and Democrats they weren't that different. They were similar, but these days it's full-blown democracy versus socialism and full-blown law and order versus anarchy. We're at that point. It's crazy. We're at that point, and it's crazy. So we can't let that happen. So 20 years from now, I don't want to sit back and say there was anything else I could have done. So that's why I've been fighting hard for the president.
All right, man. Thank you. I want to thank Mike Dickinson for all he's done and for being with us today. And good luck tomorrow, Mike. Knock him down.
All right. Thank you.